Yes.
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 Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Let me take my sticker off my
Oh,
hat.
he just bought it. Just
Starting to
bought it.
look swell.
That's great. I didn't know if that was the trend was coming back, leaving the price tag and
No,
stickers back on the hats.
no, it was a gift. This was gifted to me by my boy Chad.
Word.
So, what's the word, brother?
Chilling. I just want to, we'll start it off here. I just want to welcome everybody for tuning in to the Leeds Edutainment Podcast. We've got a very special guest with us today, Mr. Checkmark of the legendary Boston, well, Cambridge, Boston group Schizophrenics. How are
Thank you,
you, my
brother.
friend?
All's well, my man. How are you?
Yeah, good,
It's
good,
good
man.
seeing you. I'm glad you got the memo on the matching outfit. Me and you.
Yep.
You know.
You got the Carhartt tee on? Is that what it is?
No,
No, just regular tee.
this one's different.
Okay.
It's a V-neck.
Okay, cool, cool.
If we're talking brands, I think it's Perry Ellis, but
Oh yeah. Well, that makes more sense. You were a
to
little
leave him
higher up
very
on that.
jealous. No, yeah,
Yes.
right.
um, but word, man. Yeah, I wanted to bring you on here because we were talking about the DMX show at the Middle East, and I know you just have a long history of dating back to like growing up next to the Middle East. You're
Yeah,
from Cambridge, Massachusetts. You grew up in Central Square,
in the square
in the square,
On
in the
Mass Ave
yep,
during the crack era
yep.
when the Middle East was a bowling alley.
So let's talk about that.
There's a little gem already for the
Yep,
people that don't know.
yep.
So yeah, the Middle East where we performed, that same stage that we performed a million times on, was a bowling alley, rickety. It was
Yeah.
terrible too. Like you were going down there just to try to, like, either take the kids out or on a date try and get laid. Like, you weren't going there to really bowl because it was so warped, and the lanes were like, was terrible. But
Right.
yeah,
So you grew up, and you grew up in the square. What was the
yes,
street? What was the street?
on Mass Ave,
Literally you.
Massachusetts Avenue.
Oh,
Yeah. 434. What's the address at
four
Middle
four
East?
480, 472.
Yeah, 434. We were literally, like, only thing in between my apartment building and the Middle East was a corner store, the Bradford Cafe, Mary Chung's Chinese food,
Yeah.
and then the Middle East. And all,
Mar-
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. My fault. We're still learning. We're still learning how to do this. We
Yeah.
being me. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, Joseph, the owner,
Yeah.
from when I was a little kid, used to feed us chicken sandwiches when my mom was at work. Like, he used to give us these wraps. Like, I could go for one now, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
The chicken
he was.
shawarma wrap. The chicken shawarma
Yeah,
wrap.
I guess that's what it is,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because, like, I know, like, shawarma was popping now, but he was giving those to us when we was kids. And when I mean giving, like, I mean, I would be hanging out, like in the square, and walk up and, hey, you eat yet? Like, throw me something to eat, because my mother worked. Our mother, my sister's in here too. But yeah, our mom worked a lot of hours because she was a single mom and she was young. And Joseph looked out, like, a lot. So when you were doing shows before I knew you, actually, I don't know. I think I might have met you before you were doing the shows there. But yeah, maybe not then.
No, I
But
don't know.
when you were doing shows before I met you, I was sneaking in your own joints through Joseph,
Yeah, it's
for
fine.
what that's worth. So I might owe you $2 for a
No,
couple old
you
tickets.
ain't the only one. Um, I want to go back there. Your mother was 16 when she had you, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So that must
Hmm.
have been a lot. And you said you had siblings too?
Yeah, I have two younger sisters. So my mom was 16. She was 15 when she got pregnant. It was her first time. My father was 21, and he was married. I've recently found out this part, that my father was already married.
Yeah.
And so that's why now I kind of understand why he boogied, because I still to this day haven't met him. But I found him. My aunt found him on the internet. And I've interacted with him. I talked to him on the phone, but he's cool. He's all right. But yeah, so my mom ended up getting her GED when she was like 28, because I was actually born in Lynn, and my mom got her GED when she was 27, 28, I believe, and somehow randomly got offered a job to work at MIT. like not as a professor or anything, but she was she worked in the operations center. It was cool. So I got dropped in the middle of the square at 14 years old with, at that point, a 30-year-old mother. And at that point, my mom had two kids, and she was trying to figure her life out, and I had to figure mine out. Like literally in the square, looking way older than I was. When I was 14, I looked like 17, 18. I was buying liquor when I was like 15. So like I looked way older, so I got treated like as an older person, but I was still a young boy with, no male elders and nobody really to look out for me. So when I was tested, I had to either show up or run, and sometimes I did both. But the one thing about that era was you had if you didn't have it, you had to look the part. So I was always good at that. So I started working at 14 years old. I had 3 jobs freshman year, played sports, and still like worked, and all my money went to jewelry. So I looked real cool, and as crazy as it sounds, that backdrop, like in a strange way, like I don't know, I just grew up way too fast, and I wanted in on all of it, and that shit turned me out. Like I wanted in, bro. Like I was literally in the square. I'd have to walk through the square to get a slice at Hi-Fi, to do anything. The grocery store we used was Purity Supreme, which is up across the street from where Manhattan used to be. I don't know what's there now, but like, to go grocery shopping, I had to walk through the square. And when I say, if people don't really know unless you was around, dude, Central Square or any place during the crack era was just insane. Yep. Between the zombies and the hustlers, like it was nuts. Like regular people were not like really welcome in areas that were busy, Yep. When I got older and I got into it a little bit, dude, there used to be my son's running over here. There's a payphone in front of what used to be Radio Shack, which is across the street from the Middle East, that to this day I still remember the number. It was 491-1946. And we used to get incoming calls right there. You say
hi. Hi. Check marks.
Yes. That's
Son? What is your son's name again?
That's my little boy. His name is Christopher, but he goes by Sonny.
Sonny.
His hair looks crazy because we're not cutting it until he's 5. So
wow.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun for a little while. Wow. There's no significance to that. We just decided that. Whatever. But yeah, so it's crazy being in that environment. Yeah. Because I mean, I guess you could be like if you was a square, like a super square, it wouldn't matter because you wouldn't even notice it. You'd just be walking by and think everybody's a troublemaker.
Right.
But if you're somebody that at the time this is also, we're talking mid 80s where hip hop was really starting to like become that thing, and I wanted in on that too. So it was like it went hand in hand. Like people tell stories about, or you always hear about the beatboxes and stuff. Like dudes would be outside with the beatbox playing. Dude, that shit was right there in the square. Like I'll never forget. I first heard what the hell is the name of it? The Public Enemy song with the whistle, and it was just so fire.
Oh yeah.
I forget what it was, but that shit. I wanted to say.
Is that Rebel? Is that Rebel?
Yeah, Rebel Without a Pause, dude. Hearing Rebel Without a Pause through a fucking beatbox in like in front of McDonald's, like for the first time was insane. Or like Paid in Full, like hearing Paid in Full, the song. Yeah, dude, like, and these dudes was just out there and they was getting money and they looked cool and they had the music, and Skippy White's was right there. They was getting the tapes right away.
Where was Skippy White's?
Skippy's was it was 2 different places. It was where Cheapo Records is now. That was the second time. Prior to that, it was in between Blockbuster, which was on the corner in Manhattan. So it was Blockbuster. Well, that used to be Coquettes, but yeah, it was right there.
Yep.
It was right in that one little area right there. So
Right.
everybody had the tape. Skippy made sure everybody was straight. Like everything new that came out, all you had to do is skip what's new. And I was one of the dudes. I bought everything. Like I bought
Yep.
every tape that came out. Like I everything. The Two Live Crew with the dude with the broken arm on the tape, and I didn't even know who they were. MC Shy D, like shit. Even the dudes. Oh, what the heck? The dudes from Boston that John P. and
Top Choice Click.
Top Choice, dude. I had the Top Choice cassette. Shit, I had the Wu-Tang. Protect Your Neck like demo tape from Skippy. Like Skippy had everything.
Nice.
And so the dudes would be playing that like right out in the square and with Sherlins on or 8 balls, like the real 8-ball jackets, not like the shitty bootleg ones that have followed up. And get money, and I just wanted in, bro. I didn't want to feel intimidated. So I kind of like wanted to find my role and find my spot, which I did later on, which wasn't probably the best thing that ever happened in my life, but yeah.
You get a product of your environment, right?
Dude, 1,000%. And the older I get, the more I realize it. That shit turned me out, bro. Like I hustled from that point almost on. Like
yeah.
Like now I'm to the point where I'm chill because I've ran into a bunch of shit, which we can talk about too if you want. But
yeah, we'll get to that.
That shit it helped, but it helped me like develop my swag when it came to my music, because I started like my first couple songs like I wrote when I was like 14. It was like 86, 87, and like that whole mentality developed my swag that made me kind of a little bit different than a lot of other rappers that weren't really doing what they were saying they were doing. And it wasn't until I got in a lot of trouble as an adult that it was kind of like, fuck, like this shit really set me back. Like I was a straight A student, and I sold. Yes, my lawyer's on here. He just said, don't get into that other shit.
That's a good point. We won't go into
the shit that's over is over.
Yeah.
It's behind us now.
Well, we'll talk about whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
That is so funny, dude.
That's awesome. That's a first.
I just happened to look down.
The lawyer chimes in.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the comments because I'm such a big mouth and talking. That's so funny. Yes.
Yeah. You got a lot of dudes in here checking in with you. You got a lot of people.
Yeah.
Your reception's a little fuzzy. Are you okay on your end?
I don't know. Maybe somebody chimed into my Wi-Fi or something. If it's bad, let me know if I should.
Well, the volume seems fine. You got a little blurry for a second. I'll let you know if things change.
Yeah, let me know. So I can move. I'm just out back because we're actually doing a huge renovation in my house right now.
Oh, okay.
Like insane. Like if I was to turn the camera, it's gonna be sick. But
Word.
We're 4 weeks in.
Word.
So I'm happy to be outside.
Yeah, it's funny because you talk about the 80s in Central Square, and Joseph used to always say at the Middle East, he's like, the 80s, the 80s in Central Square was all about the hookers and the crack.
Pretty much.
Yes, he's like,
pretty much.
He was actually quoted in the paper saying that.
Dude, there was literally hookers. People don't understand that, but there was literally hookers walking with the red high heels out front of my building when I was a little kid. And it was like, and I was stepping over crackheads that were sleeping on my floor in my building, like as a kid. Like the shit was nuts, bro.
Yeah,
because I
like,
literally
growing up as a kid in that,
as a little boy that had no father, that had a 16-year-old. Dude, people thought that my mom was my sister. Like when he was out, Joseph probably thought my mom was my sister at first, until she went to work and I was hanging out front of his spot.
Yeah. So when did when did you start taking the rapping serious? How old were you?
So I used to rap in my bedroom. We did all that stuff. We shit, I saw KT in here earlier.
Oh shit. Shout out KT.
Me and Killer Tactics used to freestyle in detention because we both were so busy being cool that we would end up in detention all the time. So
Yeah.
we freestyled in school all the time. We used to dance. It was always just to kind of to be cool. But then I ended up linking up with somebody that introduced me to Human Beatbox from the Fat Boys. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Buff Love. And Buff loved at that point loved my style and what I was doing, and we put a group together. And he got assigned to a demo deal to Warner Brothers. So I was like signed to a label at 18, and then that label turned out to be like really corny what they wanted to do with us, because they wanted to make us like New Kids on the Block, where we wanted to be like BBD.
When
You
you
know,
say us, are you talking about this point
me,
Schizophreniks, or are you talking about you and
nope,
KT?
no, me and Bones, rest in
Okay.
peace,
Yeah.
and our other partner. So I had my best friend at the time. I was at his house once, and his little brother was singing in the shower. I was walking by, and the dude was singing. He was singing. He was singing "Let's Chill" by Guy, and I'm like, yo! And this is a little Portuguese kid. He was 14 at the time. Had a crazy voice, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck is singing in your bathroom? And he's like, that's Matthew. I'm like, yeah, right. So when I got put on a conference call with Buff, and he wanted us to perform like on the phone for some people that were there. And little Matthew, 14 years old, Bones was 16, I was 18. I was like the elder of the group or whatever. And Matthew sang "Let's Chill," and they were like, "Yo, we need this. Like, we need this." Three white dudes from Boston with swag, and one of them can sing his ass off. All I could do was rap and choreograph the dances, and put the clothes together for us. But so we got signed to Warner Brothers to a demo deal. They flew us out back and forth to New York a bunch of times. They had us recording at Quad Studio before Tupac got shot in the same fucking studio. Like, they had Larry Blackman from Cameo. They had him A&R our project, and when he did it, he was he kept trying to put his sound on it, like, because I don't know if that's something that A&Rs do, but
Oh yeah.
he was like, he was getting in on the hooks, and he was and like putting his voice on shit, like it had like the Cameo shit in the background, and we were like, no, we wanted to be raw. So the way the demo deal works is they pay for you to record a demo for them, and if then they offer you a deal at the end if they want to. So they offered us a deal, and we had the option to tell them to fuck off and keep our master. So we did that. And then Buff got us a deal at Atlantic from there. And then Buff died a couple years later. So after Buff died, he was our manager. We were signed to a management and production deal with him after he died. And I was just so turned off by the music industry that I was like, fuck this. I was like, I hate it. So I never even wanted, like, at that point, I never wanted to sell music. Even to this day, I don't like selling music. Which is clear by what a great push I did on my last project, my most recent project, I should say. I just like I make music for the people that can enjoy it. If you find it, you find it. If you don't, then whatever.
Yeah.
But I know I'm nice, and everybody knows I'm nice. So
Right.
that's like never been an issue. So 1996, 97 comes around, and I bump into Esoteric. He was actually at my house. I think I was cutting his hair or something. And he starts telling me about all the stuff that he got going on with Brick Records. And he's like, yeah, they got that shit over here. It's in the stores. It's this and it's that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, because at that point, even getting your stuff on the radio was a big deal. And I was like,
Yep.
I'm like, that sounds dope. I was like, I figured I'd tell him I'm nicer than him, so they should probably hook me up,
Right.
And he set me up with Truth and Papa D, and they just, I don't know. I don't even know how that whole shit went.
So let me ask you this:
I finally said, fuck it, like I'll fucking put a record out,
So I just
But
want
for
to back.
years,
Go ahead.
sorry,
You finish. You go ahead.
yeah, I went all over the place with that.
All right. So I want to just backtrack a little bit. Eddie Bones and you are Schizophreniks, correct?
Yes.
Was that the name of the group when you were with
Mm,
Buffy trying to push
mm.
it?
No, we were known as Boss Boys. That was the name of our
Ah,
group.
and
BOSS.
how did you and Bones link up? How did that
So
happen?
so we had this story, and it's funny when I hear other people, like when I see other people living it, right?
Yep.
Um, I was 2 years older than him, so I was a junior in high school when he came in as a freshman, right? And
Cambridge.
he had the same shit that I had, the same issue that I had. No father,
Yep.
tall, facial hair, swag, and I saw a younger version of me. And instead of embracing it, this is what I say. This is what I mean when I say that people, I see people make this mistake and kind of in life a lot. I saw somebody that made me think about me a lot, and it made me not like him. So I used to like really I gave him a real hard time in high school. Like I used to
Yeah.
throw shit at him when he was talking to girls and shit. Like I hated on him bad. And then somewhere along the line, like maybe his sophomore year. But I like when I tell you I really busted his balls. Like it wasn't nice. And I
Yeah.
wish he was here. I wish he was here to like to be able to 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 yeah, to say how it felt because it wasn't cool, you know. But especially as much shit as he talked. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, I used to bust his balls real hard, and then one time, I think we ended up at the same club because we used to go to Faces.
Yep.
Faces, it was like an under 21 dance club, and we used to all go there. Me and KT would go there. He would go, Bones would go with a couple of his boys, and the thing was to show out, you know, and have your little routines, and then hopefully get girls off it. So one time he was doing his thing and I saw him dancing and I was like, oh shit, this dude's nice, you know, he's cool. And somehow somebody introduced us and we spoke, and I apologized to him for like riding him so hard, no homo. And he we became like besties out of nowhere. And you know, he had that same energy that I had. It was just that he was younger than me and I didn't real, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird
Yeah.
thinking back, but we
Well, it's
linked
probably
up.
the love for hip hop too. I'm imagining kept you
Yes.
guys. That was
Yes,
really the glue, I would imagine, right?
yeah, absolutely. And we also had a huge thing in common, not having a father and not
Right.
having
Yeah.
like me busting his balls. There was nobody to like protect him from it. I mean, I would never
Right.
like put hands on him or nothing, but
Yeah.
like like me busting his balls, there was nobody to protect him. The same way that when people fucked with me when I was little, you know, it was the same thing, you know.
Right.
So we had that in common, and that's a strong thing to have in common, you know.
Yeah.
So so over time, whatever he decided, because I was already like I was heavy into freestyle rapping back then, and doing, yes, my sister just said he was doing the airbrush denim suits. Yeah, so he was a super art. He was very artistic, and he used to he used to hook our clothes up. He would draw
Yeah.
on our clothes and shit. Like it was just dope. Like my boy. Like and then
Yeah.
in the same way, so both of my sisters are in here right now, Jill and Jess. And Bones used to be at our house all the time. Like we used to rehearse in the house. Bones is both of their big brother, you know? And we went to I want to say Wurlitzer or something, or Guitar Center, and first we would rent a 4 track, and we would rent like a little beat machine, and he would put some beats together, and we would record stuff in the house, and it was cool, and it was dope, it was fire. And that actually predates the conversation with Esso when he was just telling me like, yo, why are you fucking doing this and not putting it out, you know? But we used to record in my house, and we would record in his house. My baby sister Jillian was she was born in '89. She was listening to us freestyle and watching us record and wanting and like trying to physically grab the mic when she couldn't even say words. Like she would rap with us, and just like and she was the original mumble rapper actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Jill was the original mumble rapper.
Huh.
I don't even think you even hear what I was saying.
No, my dog was barking. It was distracting me. So hold on one
Ah,
second. My
gotcha.
apologies. Because I
It's all
was like, I
good.
don't want to pick up the volume. You know.
It's
So
all
hold
good.
on. um, hold on. That's
But
the
yeah,
thing. These
so
things are
my
sensitive.
baby sister used to used to watch us, and she used to
Yep.
try to emulate us. And she had the rhythm, and she had like the style, and she had the flow. I still got some tapes of her rapping over like early Gangstar beats, but she
I
didn't even
like
say the
that.
words, which is
I like
pretty
that.
fire. I gotta find it. But yeah, so
So
that's pretty
yeah,
funny.
so let's fast forward to '97 now. Do you like after SO tells you what's going on with this upcoming? What we're about to
Yeah,
talk about is the Boston independent scene
gotcha.
boom that's
Uh-huh.
about to hit. Do you and Bones link up and like let's do this? Let's call the group Schizophrenics. Like, what was the whole meaning
Oh
behind
no.
calling
Oh,
it that?
so we had this thing where it was actually four of us. So it was Bones. Bones would make the beats, and then there was two other cats, my boys, still my boys to this day. My man Andrew, who used to go by Capital A, and my man Josh that went by Point Blank, and they were both from Cambridge as well. And somehow I don't even know how we all linked up, but those two were fire. They were fire. So we do this so much music that I have that I've since like digitized and mastered that I want to release, and maybe someday
Yeah,
you can help with that too. But
sure.
excuse me, we used to see. Look at my sister just said it. We had ciphers
We gotta get your sister.
4:34 in my bed,
We get sister in on this.
right? But so we used to record, and we used to rap, and we used to freestyle, and we used to battle people like before, like the current, like the goofy battles that they have now, which is still cool, you know.
Yeah.
But like getting out and rapping where you could get punched in the face after was a
Oh,
different
yeah.
type of battle, you know. Like not the whole rapping with no beat and yell at each other and say shit that ain't even real. Like we
Plus,
used
it
to
was
really,
plus it was
okay,
freestyle back then
yeah,
too, right? It
like
wasn't
real
written ahead
freestyle,
of
yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we so
That's the challenge of it. You know.
right. So we were schizophrenics.
Yeah.
I forget how we even came up with the name, but we each had our own different thing. I know my brother Tyler said earlier on your thing, he said the schizophrenic menace. That was me. Like that was my
Yeah.
alter ego. I had like two different names. It was G Man and Checkmark because G Man was my first rap name, and then it was
Right.
Checkmark. But so yeah, I mean we had our own thing, and we were happy with. We wanted to be playground legends. That's what we started out as. It wasn't until the Brick Records thing that me and Bones were ready. We were serious. The other two kind of was still cool with just you know being playground legends. We wanted to. Once my first time hearing my song on the radio, that was it for me. I was like, dude, this is what this is what I want to be. I want to hear my
Yeah.
shit on the radio all the time.
Right. Right.
So they played our DATs on 88.9, and it was
Yeah.
just like fire. I was just so pumped. And then so I was all in. I was all in with well, not all in, but I was really excited for the Brick Records thing to happen and put some records out.
So
Especially
they put out every like all your 12 inches and singles and the album at they did all that. Brick was behind all that.
yeah, so Brick put out our first 12-inch vinyl release in 1998 was on my own shit,
Yeah.
which
I'm looking
was
up your music right now.
which was a
Sorry.
fire record that stemmed from it was literally, it came off of a battle at Mr. Jason's apartment. Mr. Jason from Ponte de Ushers, and he's
Oh
done
yeah.
some other stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Jason had this crazy artsy apartment over by it's probably like where Assembly Row is now. It was like a warehouse, and everybody would go there, and he would play beats, and dude, there was like an epic time at his house where it was myself, Esoteric, and the dude Cage,
Oh
the
yeah.
dude that like Eminem dissed or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's me, Eso, and Cage, Mr. Jason playing original beats, and we're all rapping to each other. Like literally, I think the four of us in the room, and we're all spitting, and Eso says some fire shit, and I'm like, yeah, that was fire. Like, yeah, give him props. I said some shit. He's like, yeah. Cage doesn't fucking acknowledge EO. He's a fucking dickhead. Like, it's the only time in life I ever seen the kid. And he's a fucking dweeb. So when Eminem dissed him like years later, I was like, I know why you dissed him. That dude's a dickhead. But yeah, so sorry, that was random.
It's all good.
but back to that, right? So we're at Mr. Jason's house. He's having a big party. He throws this beat on. He had these three dudes that were like dweebs that were like hogging the mic as soon as they got there. And somehow I was mangled. We were drinking 40s back then. And somehow I got the mic and I went on this thing and it was like I'm on some something shit, on some something shit, and something shit. Like it just kept going, and like I kind of like bodied all three of these dudes. One of them people know now. He's kind of like I don't know what the fuck. But yeah. So the next day, like it was a classic moment in that house. And
Right.
the next day, I ended up writing the song on my own shit to the exact beat because it was just so easy. I was just kind of almost just putting back together some of the lines I was killing this kid with. His name is God Awful. I don't know. He calls himself something else now, but he's like he has a following. He put a record out with Thurston Howell. I don't know.
God forbid.
God forbid. Yes, him. It was him.
Shout out God forbid.
Yes.
It's such a funny concept.
You could ask him about that sometime if you know him like that. Be like,
yo,
did Check kill you? Like Check killed you at Mr. Jason's house.
That it's such a funny concept on my own
and
shit.
two of his boys.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
No,
two.
saying
Like
the whole...
three of them died. I was like the Three Stooges, like banging their heads together. It was fire.
Yeah. So on my own shit, and like then you put the other single out, "Come On, Dude," right? That came later. Was that after?
Yeah, that was 2 records after. So we did On My Own Shit, and then we did something else. I forget.
Looking at it right now.
I forget the second one.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't have the singles breaking down, but
yeah. But so we put out three different vinyls with Brick, and they also got us a deal overseas to sell 3 of our other songs that we didn't even put on the first vinyl, like our earlier stuff. Come On, Dude. My sister said Come On, Dude, but no, that was the third one. There was one in between. It was I forget. We had the police car. Or maybe that was it.
Come On, Dude was the police car one, I think.
Oh, so yeah. All right. So then we had a third one out there. I don't know. Dude, this shit's so long ago. It's crazy to me. Like it's crazy. It feels like another lifetime ago.
Yeah. Did Eddie produce a lot of the records?
He produced everything that we did. Every single thing we did.
So he was producing the records and rapping on them, and you were rapping on them.
Yeah.
And that was kind of how it worked.
So I was doing, and I was taking the role of manager, and like before you, I was doing our shows. Like I was promoting our shows. Like I was getting Bill's Bar, selling out Bill's Bar all the time. I was putting other rappers on. I would put other rappers on. Oh, there we go. My man BM Shirley said it. So Come On Dude was number 2. And Naturally was the third one. Naturally's fire. But
I don't remember Naturally. I remember the other 2.
Doing what comes naturally. That's just fire. But fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying how you were kind of like you were doing all the business.
So I was doing all that. We had the website, which I would love to talk about.
I want to stop you right there because on the website, because when I started promoting shows, it was told to me that they were told me like the schizophrenic message board is the most you got to be on the schizophrenic message board. It's what you got to promote that.
It was social media before social media.
Yeah, people were like, it's ridiculous.
I was thinking about it earlier. We had over 1 million posts before we shut down. There was over 1 million posts. Yeah. We had literally thousands of users. Everybody that was in Boston hip hop was on that board.
Yep.
From Clinton Sparks, G Spin to fucking Uno the Prophet. Like it was just Dart Adams. Dart Adams used to write the fucking 20 like the huge post that nobody would read. It was crazy. That's my boy too. Shout out to Dart. I know
Shout out Dart.
Yeah.
But that was the birth of message boards and forums and stuff like that. You guys were kind of ahead of the curve with that.
We were on it, bro. I mean, the only other one which was actually before us was Underground Hip Hop, but that was like goofs, like on Underground Hip Hop, like nobody knew you. On our board, it was like you know there were some people that nobody knew, but for the most
Yeah.
part, like the people from our board would be at all the shows and link up. So like everybody knew each other. So
Yeah.
there was you had to actually like kind of be real with it. Where on underground hip hop, there was the original trolls were on there, like talking
It got
shit.
ugly on there. It got real
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah,
It got ugly on
yeah,
Og. Comments are
yep,
crazy. But yeah, I mean,
right.
when I started promoting shows, you guys were done with that, and I was using BostonRap.com,
Okay,
um, and Boston Rep the Bean. These were the forums at
I
that
remember
time to
those.
promote.
Yep, yep.
Um, those were the big tools at that point. But yeah, message boards and
Yeah, we started.
forums and
We kind of blew that up, man. It was cool. It was
yeah,
dope. And I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I was doing that shit too, and I was booking our shows. We were doing Bill's Bar. We were doing the Western Front. We were doing like all these little spots. And
sorry,
I
my
would be the
dog's
one.
going nuts. Hold on one second. Hey,
Yeah, that's fine.
sorry, go ahead.
No, so yeah, so I was doing all that other shit, wearing too many hats, which
Yeah,
also was a challenge too. It also got draining.
yeah.
It got really draining when you're like putting on the show and you're the one of the artists, and this person wants to get paid, and it's like, all right, bro, I'll take the L. You know,
Yeah. That's my
it just
life.
yeah, I know you know how that goes. But imagine with all the stuff that you do and all the running around and comps and dealing with
Yep.
everybody and all that bullshit, and then on top of it, you got to jump on stage. You know,
Yeah, no. I
like
wouldn't
you got
even
to jump
host
on
my
stage,
shows. Yeah, I wouldn't even host my shows. In the beginning, I
right?
was hosting them, and even that was too much running around doing everything.
It's pain in the balls, and especially if you're trying to drink 30 beers like the same at the same time, like just it became too much, bro.
Yeah. So let's talk about like night. So now, like the Middle East kind of really takes off, right? At this
Hmm.
point, like now
Yep.
you grow up as a kid, think it gets converted into the nightclub from the bowling alley, and now
Yep.
it becomes the mecca of
Yeah.
underground hip hop shows in New England. That
Yep.
must have been pretty
It was
surreal,
cool. It was dope. I was pumped about it because I didn't have to go far. You
right?
know,
He was
like
still living in,
we had to go. We used to travel up to like Maine a lot
yeah.
and do college shows to get a check. But it was cool to not have to like get a hotel room or
And that era, like, let's just talk about that era. Like, really, it's the Boston hip hop scene that you guys were part of. I mean, that was really that's that was a
it
big,
was dope. It was fire, bro. It was
yeah. Tell me
fire.
some of your most memorable experiences in that era.
Um,
Some of the best shows. Let's talk about some of the best shows that you were part of or went
the
to in that
the
era.
funnest, like the biggest, like awe show for me
Yeah.
personally was we opened up for Method Man at
Oh, word.
at actually at do you do oh no you didn't do it the Palladium.
I've done shows at the
I
Palladium.
think it's a different one though. I think it was a different one. We did one in I don't remember where it was. No, the Songus Arena. My fault.
Yep.
Sorry. Yes, Mike Moves is in here.
Yeah.
He was doing Metro Concepts back then.
Yeah. I remember that.
We had the ill team, bro. Like my whole squad, and we're all still tight. Like
Yep.
all of my dudes, that everybody played a different part, and we had my dude Hot Rod that used to video all our shows and kept all the tapes, and that's why I still don't have any of
Oh,
them.
word.
Like that was dope, you know. But besides that, like we had a squad of people that like everybody rolled tight. It was pretty cool. Yes,
and I
Tyler got
and
the my brother Tyler's in here. We had the lanyards for the people that was on like part of the crew, so you knew that they was like official.
well, I tell you, I grew up going to those shows.
Oh,
Like
I
I
forgot. I
was
was supposed to tell you about my
no, well,
favorite
yeah,
show.
we'll get back to it. But I grew up going to those shows and seeing you guys open up on almost every
Hmm.
big Middle East show I went to.
Hmm.
You know, you, Esso, Lift, Ack, all these guys are. It was like that was the opening squad.
Yes, yeah,
And you guys were always there. So like that was what I was curious. Like, what is your favorite? What was the
yeah.
best
Well, because
Middle East show you've been to, or that you were part of?
I got one that I just thought of. I just
All
thought
right,
of
what
one.
is it?
It's a good story too.
What is it?
So so but fuck, I just got distracted again. I can't read the
Best Middle
comments
East show you were
because it
part of.
messes me up.
Best Middle
No,
East
no,
show you were part
I know that.
of.
I just can't read the comments because it makes me like want to talk to my boys too.
It's all
So
good.
so so my worst show ever, to go the opposite way.
It's fine.
I freestyled. I got in a open mic where I freestyled at the Rat, and I was the only white dude. I'm talking. This was probably 95, 96. And after the show, somebody caught me outside and punched me in my face and hit me with it was like a pipe or a roll of quarters or something. I broke my nose, and my shit's still fucked up like to this day. And I still I probably snore because of it. And dude tried to pop my chain, but he didn't get the chain after. But yeah, so that was the worst show. That was my worst memory. Was like really killing it at the Rat. And then my favorite funny one, what the fuck are they called? Smith and Wesson, the Cocoa Brothers, right? Yep. Cocoa Brothers come into Boston, come into Cambridge, and they ask one of my boys to get him some like some fire weed. So, and he might be in this chat actually. And so I'm like, wait, no, it didn't go that way. It went the opposite way. I ended up going through one of my boys in the chat to get it for them dudes. So somebody else reached out. Either way, so I'm performing that night, and I end up, coming to meet these dudes in Central to bring them like a fucking quarter, but I got them like gas, and this was back when like dudes only had like Kind Bud, and I got them like some crazy exotic shit, and I was proud of it. I wanted to hand deliver I could have given it to my boy and had him give it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna hand deliver it to these dudes. I hop in, they had this little fucking shit box. I get in the whip with them, and dudes like, I give them the thing, and I only hit them for like $100. I think I might have paid $110 for it. Like I might have took a L. Like I was really like excited to hit these dudes, and pause, and the dude goes, he goes, yo, are you sure this is a whole 7? And I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, and he tells the other one, it was the dude with the tattoo on his face now, I think. Tech. Yeah, and he tells the other one, he's like, we got to start bringing the scale on the road. I'm like, fuck, you're talking about a quarter ounce, you fucking dickhead. So we end up, I was like, whatever, dude. They didn't even know that I was open. They didn't even know who I was. Right? So at the time, they had the song with the Super Mario beat,
Super Brooklyn.
So yes, so they're backstage. We see them backstage. I'm like, yeah, I met y'all earlier. I hope y'all enjoyed that gas, right? They're like, oh yeah, you was right. My fault about that. My fault about questioning it, right? Like, all right, well, I'm about to go rock. What's our first song on our set? You're not gonna guess it. I dropped I dropped their fucking beat, the do-do-do-do-do, and we rocked this shit, because that was exactly what the crowd was there for. So we rocked over their beat, like that everybody was anticipating hearing, and like fuck them dudes, man. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's a no. That's a no right there.
You were like, I didn't care. That was my place, man. That's the Middle East.
That's so funny, man.
So yeah, so that was fun. That was one of my favorites, especially because they were heated. I know they were heated because that record was brand new.
Yeah.
Right? But we always used to do that too. At all of our shows, everything was available. Like we would literally walk into the club without even a DJ. Like we would have, if Seven and Esso were performing that night, or I think Braun was in here earlier too. Like any of them, Frank White, G, fucking Clinton, Boy Barboza, any one of them that was there, we would walk in with a bag of instrumentals and be like, yo, you rock it. Like, you want to talk about organic shows? Every single performance we ever did, the only time I ever had a set list was the show that you put on for me in the Rest in Peace show for Bones. Yep. That was the only time I've ever had a set list. Like, we would show up without it. I mean, not needing a DJ, not like, yo, who could DJ? But we already knew all these dudes were going to be there. Like if somebody else was on our set, like on the set, on the lineup, like, yo, put our set together for us, rock out. Like we always did that. That was the only time. That was the only time that I was like, yo, the first fucking record. I don't remember who DJ was. I was like, yo, the first record. Let's do that. I see Braun. Braun will tell you. Yeah, dude. We literally would be like, yo, here, grab these records. They probably look at them like, oh fuck, what do you want me to do with this one? Like, but it was dope. Like it was just organic.
That was a great era. Did you was there a time after, like when that era was over, did you say I was done? did you just quit rapping after that? Were you like, I'm
No,
done? Or was it just
no.
like I just fall back? Because you kind of disappeared for a while. You guys, I know that and then Eddie Bones got into the accident, right?
Hmm.
He talk about the accident. What exactly happened?
Bones did something that every boy that's ever had access to a pool has probably done, which is, except for the first part, he was drunk. Besides that part, he was at a friend's pool, and it was late night, and it's dark out, and he dove in the pool head first, but he dove in the shallow end.
Ah, fuck,
Every one of us has done. Every one of us has dove in the pool, or not everyone, but a lot of us have dove in the pool, and you hit the bottom and you push yourself off. He did that, but he had hit his head, and when he tried to push off, his arms didn't work, and he floated to the top. And I mean, yeah, he that's it. He broke his
man.
neck,
He broke his
dove
neck.
in
It
the
was
pool,
paralyzed, right?
and was paralyzed from the chest down,
Fuck.
which was horrible. And that was I want to say that was around like '08, but we stopped. So we put our actual album out in 2002,
Yep.
and the last record from that point on that I did was in '04. And
Right.
at the time we were already working on a bunch. I still got a bunch of skits, like fire skit songs that we never put out. And like I was, I don't know. Once he hurt himself, it
Right.
was I didn't want, because I didn't want to do it without him,
Right.
because it was like our energy. The reason why we were able to do the shows that way and rock like that wasn't, your parts, and just, you know we had like genuine organic fire energy, that everything from, we were also in that era of smoking cigarettes on stage and drinking beers on stage and fuck
Yep.
everybody. Dude, I found we have so little like stuff on YouTube, because we were right before the YouTube era really
Yep.
started popping.
Yep.
But dude, I saw a show that we did in Rhode Island where we were like trying to get some back and forth with the crowd, and they wasn't feeling it. And Bones literally tapped me and was like, "Yo, fuck this," and with a cigarette. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, fuck y'all. And like I did, like, then I stopped like everything and did like the most vulgar acapella ever, and then spun and we walked off and grabbed our nuts, and like the crowd still was like at the end, like, but like we were just on the same page with everything. And when his injury happened, I was all set. But even prior to that, 2004, the last record that I had done was with Big Daddy Kane.
Mm.
And I got, in the craziest way ever, I got an opportunity to do a song with the person that was my idol, that like inspired me to rap.
Right.
And once I did that, I don't know if you heard that record, but I kind of did pretty good on it. And
Yeah.
after that, it was just
Done.
like, I just felt like
Yeah.
this is it, like I performed on stage with Kane at Boston at the Roxy, like, me and my daughter, that's another thing. My daughter was born in '04. That made me want to fall back too, because the shit I
Yep.
was talking back then was just shit I did not want her to ever hear. Even now, I don't even want her to hear my old songs, like the
Right.
old early shit. It was nice, but there was, every now and then, there'd be a lot of bad words on there, not just curse words, just shit that you can't even say now. Like,
Yep.
it's crazy, bro. I had a song called Chasing Amy. You ever heard that?
No, I don't remember that one.
Dude, I had a song called Chasing Amy that was about, yeah, it was like the movie Chasing Amy.
Yeah, I remember the
Did you ever
movie.
see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Oh,
Made
yeah.
by Made by a fellow Cambridge dude. Like that shit. Like, you can't
Was
even
that Kevin
talk.
Smith? Kevin Smith made that, didn't he?
Nah, that
No,
was that was Ben
I
Affleck.
think it's something else. Oh, Ben Affleck. He was in it. I
Yeah,
don't know if he
yeah.
directed
Oh,
it.
I don't know who made it, but yeah,
Oh,
but
yes.
that song was about a lesbian relationship. But my song, I mean, the movie was about trying to convert a lesbian to be like straight or something like that. But my
Right.
song was about a real life story, that was a lesbian that I knew that was being abused, was in an abusive relationship, and I was like trying to like help her get out of it, but also being a creep about it. But you know, that song was about abuse, but people would hear it now and all they would hear is like me saying the word like dyke and shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't do none of that
Different
shit.
times now. Different
Right.
times.
So that like I don't know, having the daughter, seeing Kane like do a song with somebody like me, it was just a bad look. Like for me, I'm like, dude, this dude doing a song with me, like
Yeah.
shit must be bad, you know? Like I never wanted to be that dude that was like, you know, I don't know. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that kind of turned me off to
Yeah,
making
because you
music.
definitely took a break. You took a hiatus because I remember this. And then
Oh, yeah, sorry.
um, Eddie ends up passing away, unfortunately.
Yeah,
A
passed
few
in
years
2012.
after the accident.
Hmm.
He went a few years, but he ended up passing away eventually. And we
Yep.
threw the benefit show, and
Yeah.
I felt like that's kind of where you kind of came back a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
you did the record with Slain. I remember you doing a record with Slain, and it
I
was
got like
like,
5 records with Slain.
yeah, five
That's what's
records.
crazy. People don't even realize it because
Yeah,
only one was the one that like that one was fire that
right,
the video was on MTV and shit.
right,
But me and Slain got I talk to Slain once a week at least.
cool.
Every like in person. Like
Yeah,
I see Slain all the time. But yeah, like dudes like that inspire me now and even from 2012 to now inspire me to make music. But also I kind of enjoy just doing it vicariously through them. You know, like
right.
I'll put a fire verse on like my people's records if it's gonna, you know, make the record better. But I don't know, it's something, and that's another thing that happened too. I was doing a lot of like grown up versions of my young hustler self, if that makes
Yep.
sense.
No, it
Um,
does.
around those years that I stopped making music, and the reason why was because the reason why it made me not want to make music was because there were dudes that were working for me literally that were like basically rapping about what I was doing, but I wasn't rapping about it because I didn't want to indict myself. And it was just such a turnoff. And it was just like, dude, I got these dudes that owe me money that are rapping like they're big bosses, and here I am trying to stay low. And it was just I was just gonna get in my own way. Like do I try to overcompensate and try to prove myself, which is crazy about like music now, where kids are like throwing everything in the videos and going to jail forever. And it's like, you know what? I'd rather not do any of that. I'd rather, you know, live a life that I want to live and just try to get away from the accolades and not need confirmation from rap fans for me being cool.
Right. When did you become a barber? In this whole period?
Dude, I was cutting hair back in 1992.
Ah, so you were a barber on as
The
well
whole time.
the whole time. Okay.
The whole time. Forever. Like I said earlier, when I had the conversation with Esso, he was at
Yeah.
my house getting his haircut. And he was
Yeah.
like, yo, you should do the thing. You know what? They filmed us on for Channel 5 for Chronicle. Remember that
Yeah.
show? I don't know,
Oh
it
yeah.
might still exist. The news show Chronicle
I think it does.
filmed at my apartment. They filmed me cutting Esso's hair. And
Wow.
I remember saying on there, like, this is my underground barbershop. And then dudes on underground hip hop are like, oh yeah, ha, 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 check you doing your hairdressing. Like, dudes are fucking goofs. But yeah, I've always done it.
But like you're not just like someone that does it on the side. You have a barber shop and like
I don't
that's
have
your well,
my
you
boy
work at a
owns
barber shop.
a barbershop, my right hand man, and I frequently can be seen there sometimes.
I thought you did it more. That was like your full-time thing. Is that
Yeah,
no?
it was pre COVID.
Okay,
But
yeah.
so the funny thing is that I've never, and this is like real, and this is like not really the forum to say because it might sound like weird, but I've never combined the two because
I know.
I never wanted somebody to come in and sit in my chair and want to talk about my music. Like,
Mm.
dude, I have people that I've cut their hair for decades that don't even know I make music. Like, I don't talk about it in the shop, and I don't talk about the shop like in other situations because I don't want to. I mean, I hate the word fan. I don't want to cut fans, and I don't, you know, and I also don't want the people I do cut to think I'm pushing my music on them. So it's like
Ah,
it's cool. It's just literally schizophrenic shit. Like Like two totally different lives. You
So
know,
you think your brain operates like that? Are you
a thousand percent,
you
dude. I
you
used to
got
say
the
I'm
split
cooked.
personality thing?
I'm absolutely cooked. I'm not like the bad one that will do something that I don't remember. But actually,
Yeah.
I do that too. But I even wrote on the internet this morning. I wonder which check's gonna show up because
I
I
did
got
see that.
dude, I got so many fucking stories
I
that I
bet.
can talk so much shit about so many people, and I don't want to diss anybody. So
Yeah.
like, because especially in this day and age, because then I gotta fucking it.
Yeah, because this is gonna
I
get
gotta
recorded.
fake
This is
yeah, I gotta
recorded and it
fake
could be used.
apologize. Yeah, fake
Well,
apologize.
the one thing I want to talk about is like you made this mixtape or was it an album with the Machiavelli? What was it? The Checkavali? What was the name of that one? I'm
That's
sorry.
fire. That's
So
fire.
hold on. Let
It's
me.
so
What's the name?
it's
I'll see.
it was called the 6 Song Theory.
Yeah. And
So Tupac had the 7 day theory, and this is how stupid I am, right?
yeah.
I thought I had 7 songs done for it because it was gonna be the 7 song theory, and then like right when I was about to when I was finally ready to put it out, I realized I only had 6, and I wasn't gonna force an extra song, so I just said fuck it. But the
That
way,
I remember when you talked to me about this before. You said you were in a real dark place when you put this together.
yeah, yeah,
You were
it
under.
was
I don't
terrible.
want. I don't. I'll let
No,
you
you
say
can
the
say it. You can
details.
say it.
You said you were
I don't
under
mind.
house arrest when you made it.
Yeah. So
Wh-
I spent a full year out of the last 10 in my house. Like a full year, two different stints of 6 months of just sitting in the house. And that's a shitty fucking feeling, bro. Like that's a shitty feeling. And during the first one, I went through a divorce at the same time. I caught I think it was like two or three different cases in the same year. It was 2010. That's another thing that made me not want to make music because I didn't.
Right.
I want my music to always be genuine and honest, and it always is. But some of it's shit you don't want to really brag about. You know, like
Right.
when bad things happen. When
Yep.
bad things happen, you don't really want to. You know, people love that shit though. Some people like eat off of that. You know, where something bad will happen and they'll make a song about it and people love it.
I
I've
think if it's honest, it works.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's tough.
So
It's also tough for you to be in a dark place and want to create. You know, because
right,
that's a tough place to be.
right. See, there's my lawyer right there talking about Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Look up Hail Mary. So what
I just
happened was
listened to it. I listened to it a little bit before we got together. I liked it.
that shit makes me sick, bro. It's
Yeah.
so real though. It's so
Yeah.
real that it's cool. But um, so one of my boys, his partner's in here right now. My man Hags is in here right now. But his partner Rim came to my house and was like, because I was literally like not the house arrest where you could go out and like walk around and shit. I was on 24-hour house arrest because I had violated 2 different drug charges and I had a DUI all in the same year, and then on top of it, I got raided by feds. So
Yep.
I had a Fed case pending and all this other stuff, and the judge was basically like, well, we can't send you right to jail, but we can keep you in the house and not let you go to work and not let you do anything. So I literally was in my house for 6 months straight. I was ordering Peapod. Shout out to my sister. Her email address is Peapod. But I was ordering Peapod. I was like literally sitting in my house. I also had a breathalyzer in the house at the same time. So I couldn't drink. I couldn't do shit. My wife left, all this stuff. So it was like, fuck. And my boy Rim came over and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring the mic over. I'm gonna bring this stuff over, and we can record." He was like, "I want to make a Tupac mixtape over all Tupac beats, and I'm gonna put it out on Tupac's birthday or some shit." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fire." I was like, "I'm down." I was like, give me the ambitions of a rider beat, and I'm gonna body it." And we did it. And I did it that night. I wrote it real fast, and I let out everything that
Whoa, think we lost you.
in it.
Think we lost. Oh, you there?
Sorry, my phone was saying it was dying.
Uh
So
oh. You able
it's
to
fine.
charge it?
I got another one. I got another phone. We could just switch the other one. But so so the dude recorded me doing that song, and it was dope. And then I was like, I hit him up the next day. I'm like, yo, let's do another one. Let's do another one. And he just was never ready to do another one. So I kind of stole his project and just like did like a bunch of songs over Tupac beats.
Right.
So yeah. So and then I just sat on it because I didn't want nobody to hear it because I ended up for a while I thought the Fed case disappeared. So I was like, fuck, I don't even want to put this music out now because I thought I was going to jail. So I was like, I thought I was going to jail for a long time. And I was like,
Yep.
fuck it, I'm gonna record this music. If nobody ever sees me again, we'll make all these songs about like, like real shit. And then I didn't end up going to jail. So I was like, fuck, what do I do with these songs? I was like, I'm not gonna put them out because I don't want to, whatever. But then,
Yeah. How much
long
time were
story,
you facing?
I don't know. My lawyer's in here, but I don't know.
A lot.
So so
A lot.
so so so
Medium,
it was
small,
like
medium, or large.
so every count was going to be like could carry up to 2.5 years, and we had thousands of counts. It was white collar shit, and there were thousands of counts. So like the Fed that had me sitting on the couch, um, in my living room in an ankle bracelet, told me, he was like, yeah, 2.5 years for every one count, and you got 10,000. I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm like, fuck it. Dude, it was the
Oh
worst. It
man.
was the worst shit, bro. It was the worst. So
When
the
did?
funny thing about that is that so that was 2011. They never came back. We never heard from them again, right?
So what? You're just off one day. You're just off house arrest, and the case is gone.
Yeah, no, the case never happened. It was just over my head. It was just they raided and it was like open ended supposedly, and they never charged me. But then we had
So, so they
we
didn't
had
charge you, but you were on house arrest.
no, I was on house arrest for violating probation on the other shit when they
Ah,
came to the house.
gotcha. All
When they
right. All
raided the
right.
house, and then
It's a couple
then
things going on here. I get it.
when they raided the house, it set off a whole fucking
Ah,
thing with my probation officer saying, okay, well, if you got all this other stuff going on and you got this violation on this other case and blah, 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 blah. So the worst thing is they had a 5 year statute of limitation to charge me. They came back 8 days before the statute was up, and that was in 2016. And they came with some bullshit charge that they ended up dismissing after the fact. And then um, they ended up dismissing the charge because the charge was bullshit. And the one thing they were able to prove, which was whatever, was that I never even paid taxes on that business. So I pled out to tax fraud after all that shit. And even then, they wanted to fucking send me to jail for a million years. And my
that's how they got
lawyer,
Capone. That's how they got Capone.
that's what everybody always says. Yeah. Guess
Oh,
what? And then right after I finished it all up and finished with all the shit that they did, I was like, you know what, this music's dope. Let me throw this out. Let me throw this out. So that's it. Yeah.
when did you become a Freemason?
Dude, before they came in, fucking, I love this.
All these different layers of your personality, it's very
So
interesting. So talk to me
so
about
around
being a Freemason because
around
I
around the
don't really
time
know
that
much.
around the time that Bones passed. Actually, yeah, right around the time that Bones passed, I wanted, always in life, there was this common theme that I needed a male elder, and I wanted somebody that could that I could talk to, like a grandfather or something like that. So I had learned about that organization that it's good men, making good men better, and I was like, I want to look into it, especially at that time. I had just come off the bracelet. I was living on eggshells. I lived on eggshells for 5 years, like knowing these dudes came to my house and never came back. Like that's the worst, dude. Like
Yeah.
I found out in like the winter of 15. I got a letter in the mail that was like, yo, there's a grand jury that's been meeting about you, and we're ready to you know blah blah blah. Have your lawyer contact us if you want to like be a part of this conversation. And I'm like, oh my god, they're coming back. But so in 2012, while I was like nervous about all that shit, um, I sought out this group, and I found my niche. And there were like all these like good successful men that didn't have to do the shit that I did, as a kid. Like
Yeah.
it all goes back to my upbringing, where taking the quick opportunity as opposed to you know taking the long road, and doing the right thing. And they say the character is what you do when nobody's watching. And I
Right.
always had good character, So for me to get caught up in stupid shit just didn't add up. And it took me being around some people that didn't know who the fuck I was and didn't care that I could rap or didn't care about none of that shit. And after impressing none of them, they just appreciated me. I've always been a brother. I've been a big brother to both my sisters. You know, I needed a big brother myself. So I ended up joining this organization, and I put everything into it because I had just lost my wife, and I'd lost my partner in my music. I'd lost oh shit, my daughter's in here now. Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh. So yeah, so I find this group, and and I've always been a leader, and I've always been able to shine at anything I do, and I just put everything into that. So after a year and a half in the organization, they they came to me, they elected me to run it. So I was elected the master of Joseph Webb Lodge in downtown Boston, in the Grand Lodge building of Massachusetts. Like a huge, huge thing. Like
Is that on
I
Tremont Street?
yeah, right there in the
Yeah,
corner of
right. Where
Tremont and
889
Boylston.
was, right? Right next
Yes,
to
right up.
89? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the funniest thing. Like I'll be able to tell
Right.
you, like, yo, dude, I took a piss on the wall right downstairs back in the day, coming out after
Yeah.
performing on the radio,
Yeah.
right downstairs. But yeah, so I put everything into that, and it helped change my outlook. It made me slow down. It made me not try to go so nuts for everything, and I saw good things happening. So I saw results, and it's not what everybody thinks with the whole like Illuminati shit. That shit's not even like it's not that at all. I believe that it's when you're doing right and you're doing things for the right reason, positive doors open up for you and things go better, and
Absolutely.
and that's what happened. So fast forward to fast forward to 2016, when they came back to my house. Um, at that time, I was elected for the second time to run this fucking group of men. I'm talking 160 guys, lawyers, doctors, like financial executives, like all these people got me. Check. Like got hair in my like hair splinters in my hand, but in there with a gavel, like running meetings, and like and they 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 elected me to be master again, and I was like really, I found something that I was really enjoying, and like everybody was having a good time, and then out of nowhere, them people came back to my house, and it was like boom, and none of it mattered. So the one good thing I can say is I stood up before that judge. I think it was 2017, and at my sentencing, and the prosecution had wanted to give me 18 to 24 months for tax fraud, and they gave me the opportunity to say my side of it, and I spoke real, and I said what I felt and about the whole situation. And the same judge that smoked them, the people on the college, the college scandal where the actors and actresses were getting their kids
Yep.
into college.
Yep.
The same judge that smoked all them actresses. When I finished speaking, I stood up and I spoke. When I finished that, she said I can't send this man to jail. She said the person standing before me right now is not the same person that y'all went to his house in 2011. You
Right.
know, she was like, if you brought him before me back then, it would be different. She apologized to the prosecution. My lawyer, Aunt Becky, stupid. But yeah, dude, look at him and my sister. She was so compassionate. All the people, like some of the people in here, were at my
Yeah. They've
at
been
my
with you.
thing.
They've been with
Yeah,
you this
but they
whole
they were
journey.
literally in the courtroom with me. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't leaving that day, and she was like,
Yeah.
I can't send this dude to jail. But that's a
Wow.
thing where that that the Freemasonry really helped me slow down and focus on what really mattered in my life,
Right.
you know? So
Kind of centered you,
yeah,
grounded you.
yeah, yeah. And it made me notice what mattered. And that's why like a lot of stupid shit, I don't, it doesn't matter to me, you know? Like going out and doing all that shit and trying to impress people, like, which is the total opposite of like, of being a rapper, you know?
Right.
And I still, yes, you see that?
Your lawyer.
My lawyer said, I had a lot of support that day. The judge read our memo, meaning the one that he wrote. He wrote the illest shit. He wrote the illest like bio and my story. Ben, we need to publish that. We need to publish that. Like
Lawyers are lifesavers.
yeah,
Shout out
he
to
is
lawyers.
literally.
My
He
lawyer
is.
saved my ass too. I
He's
should
the
have got
best.
locked up too. I should have been.
Yeah, my shit. I mean, it is what it is.
But yeah, that's
But
that's
yeah,
pretty powerful. That's
so.
powerful, Check.
But that whole thing was like the total opposite of the whole rap goofy shit that I mean, I got fire, bro. I've been talking. So my boy DC that produced all the songs on Vita Mata.
DC the
We're
MIDI alien, for people that
DC the
don't
MIDI
know,
alien,
beast out of New Hampshire, one of the best out here.
beast, dude, a beast. And we're working. Like I really gotta say, we're working on part two already. Like
Yeah,
it's
so
on.
I just want to stop you right here and just say, so the new project, the Vita Mata Part One, which is the
Hmm.
autobiography of Checkmark.
Hmm.
That was the latest project you just put out in last year, correct? That was last
Yes,
year.
yes,
And let's talk about that. In the name alone, Vita Mata, that crazy life in Italian, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
So it's kind of funny after everything you've talked about. This is kind of like the this kind of caps
culmination,
everything. You know what I mean?
right?
It's
Well,
yeah,
but this is also why part two and part three haven't even been close to coming out because, and that's a challenge. It's kind of a weird spot that I put myself in to do my own life story on record
right.
when I'm still living it and I'm still going through like crazy shit. Like I can't crazy life. It ends with fucking whatever the last song was on there. Hell
Right.
no. Like I got so much, all this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
None of that shit's even on there yet. Like
Right.
I got a lot of stuff to, you know, to really tell the whole story. That's why I decided to
Absolutely.
break it up into three parts. Because originally it was going to be this one piece, and it's like, dude, you know how long it's going to take, and long because the song we did the video for,
Yep.
that song was from, I think I recorded that shit in like 2009, like
Yep.
the one with the Journey sample,
Yep.
Thanks for Life,
That
and that's
that
a
was
powerful
that.
record.
Yeah, and that song was about kind of
About my
your
dad.
letter to your father.
Yes.
You know, you were, I remember you talking to me, obviously your dad wasn't around, but you made that song, but then you kind of came to peace with it later, right?
Yeah, because I'm cool. Like I wrote it more. I wrote it about my daughter. That song was the result of me watching my daughter shine and feeling bad for my father for not ever getting to see me shine.
Right,
That's why in the song, like I'm not even mad. I'm just like kind of saying it, and that song wrote itself. I
right.
sat down and I literally sat down. I probably wrote that song in 45 minutes. And I'm not one of them dudes. Like I don't take forever to write, but
Right.
you hear these young kids now like, we did 4 records. Get fuck out of here. 4 records in a night. Them records suck. You know, like it's easy when your songs suck. Like fuck out of
Right,
here. But
right.
yeah, that song wrote itself. But my thing just told me I'm at 10%. But it's
Oh,
fine. We get
yeah.
the other phone. So
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 go ahead.
so that's why I decided to chop it up because I can't start the album with Thanks for Life and end it with Thanks for letting me be free to the judge. Like there's still more. There's still records that have to be made about my daughter. There's still records about my divorce. So I ended up remarrying my wife that I divorced from. Like we're better than ever. Like we divorced in 12, we remarried in 15. Like after the whole, when I tell you that masonry shit changed my life and changed like a lot of shit, the man that I that was that rapper Checkmark dude had to be gone for this for my wife, for my baby to come back, and now we're back and we're better than ever. But
And you just
so
had a kid recently too, right?
yeah, we had Sonny's he's gonna be 2 next month. but yeah, like Sonny needs a song, Monkey needs a song, like my mom needs a song, Bones needs a song, like, and then I still gotta do a song. I still like there's still songs that gotta come out. Like I gotta talk about these fucking the rap shit, like these these suckers for lack of better words. Like there's still so much in my story that's still gotta come out, you know?
Yeah,
And
and I think, you know, it was good to see this one come out because it felt like you're back to it. You know what I mean? And you
yeah,
know, and I, someone with your talent, your personality, like I just feel like you got to keep making music.
thank you.
It doesn't
Thank you.
have, you know, and you do it the way you do it with no expectation.
Mhm.
That's a good mindset. You know what I mean? Like
That's it,
you
bro. I
put it
don't
out,
need it.
you put
I
it
don't
out
need it.
because it's your art, and that's what it is.
Yeah. And
But
that's what it was from the beginning.
I still think you got a lot in you that needs to be heard, and I
Yeah.
hope that you keep putting that out there.
Wait till
You
you hear the
know,
song with my little sister.
I'm all about it.
It's gonna be in your email after we get off the phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you actually rapping on that too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
okay, cool.
I'm not just gonna ask you
I
a
thought it was just
favor.
like your little sister's song. I
No,
was like,
no, it's me
okay,
and
cool.
her, dude. It's
All right, cool,
fire. So
cool.
the funny thing is she sent it to me. She sent me the record because she's been rapping for years. And
Yep,
she does the Bridgeside Cypher. And
yep.
and she's been at it for years. And um she sent me a record and was like 2, 3 years ago. It was like she's like I want you to rap on this, and I'm like, dude, I am not fucking this. I didn't tell her that she's in here so she can hear it now. I'm like, dude, I am not doing a song with my sister, like not right now. You know, I was going through all
Right.
that stuff, and I'm like, it's just too much. Like I don't even know how I want to represent myself anymore. Like as a rapper with everything I had going on, and like she took it easy on me. She didn't like hound me about it. And like a year passes and I'm like, don't worry, I still got you. I still got you. And I just never that just it was the most stress I ever had. Like even the song with doing a song with Kane didn't like stress me as much as doing a song with my baby sister.
What's your
Because
sister's rap name? What's your sister's rap name?
just Jill.
Just Jill. All right, cool.
Yeah, and her name is Jillian. And I finally did it this past summer, and it was fire. Like we had such a great time, and
It's awesome.
we did the song, and we cried, and it was just like I'm so proud of her, you know, like doing it all on her own, you know, without even saying, oh, here she goes. She said I
Uh,
wouldn't let her put her EP out until we did a track. Yeah, I held her back, bro. But
oh,
yeah,
not
like it
anymore.
was just yeah, not anymore. So so we so we did the song, and it was just so real to me, and it was like coming full circle from the little kid that the baby that was watching me rap to finally be able to, you know, give her a record was dope.
Yeah.
So then her birthday came because I took forever to do the record. Her birthday's in December. Her birthday came up last year, and I was like, you know what? As a gift for her birthday gift, I paid my man Sev
Yep.
Uno, dope
Yep.
director.
Great director.
I paid him to do the video for us. So video for the record, and then we were supposed to do it in December, and the snow was just so nasty, and I didn't want dirty visuals. Like I didn't want like every time that we were supposed to film, there were like snowbanks in the square, and it was just like dirty snow, and I'm like, you know what, let's wait. So we did it last week. So
That's
last
great.
Wednesday, and the video is already done. It's already edited. It's already good to go. And hopefully, with the help of one of my friends and a couple of my friends, I think we're gonna release it this Friday. It's really fire. It's feel good. It's dope. The song itself is fire, but the visuals are really really dope. It's like really bright colors and just smiling and shit that I think people need to like, you know, everybody's so uptight right now, you know,
Yeah.
and
Tough time.
on edge. Yeah, and I think it'll be dope to put this video out. So we're gonna
That's
me and my
great.
sister.
All right. Well, that's amazing. I look forward to watching it and helping out on the project. And we'll
Word.
wrap this up.
All right,
But
brother.
Checkman, thank you for coming through,
Thank
man.
you.
Your journey is is amazing, and like I said, good things to come in the future. I still,
Absolutely.
we still got so much music left in us, so
Hell
let's
yeah.
let's keep it going. And
I appreciate
what?
what you're doing. Even
Thank you.
through the pandemic, dude, you've been grinding and like not just for yourself. Like I
Yeah,
see you putting out other people's stuff and promoting people that don't have an opportunity to even
yeah,
do it right now, you know?
yeah,
And that's I know that'll come back tenfold too, you know?
yeah. We'll see it.
And
With a lot's going to change, so we'll see. That's one thing you're guaranteed, right? In this business, change, and
right, right.
you know,
Well,
it,
I
it,
look forward to seeing you again and
yeah,
you
we
know
will.
and getting on that Middle East stage again too.
Yeah, I hope
That's
so.
gonna
I
be
hope it.
fire.
Well, thank everybody for tuning in, and everybody came through in the chats. Tuned into the Leeds Edutainment podcast with Mr. Checkmark of Schizophreniks, and
My man.
we'll talk soon. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
See ya.